Why do you care what someone thinks who has never even thought to pursue the greatness or level that you're trying to get to? If you're just stuck and stagnant in your life, it's your fault. You are a failure because you're accepting it as a failure and not as a lesson.
Run fast from a day job, running fast from the way it was. Jump quick to the paycheck, running back to the strip club. I'm never going back, never going back. No, you can't make me. Never going back, never going back.
Welcome to my channel. What's up? This is your girl Felicia Monique, and I'm so glad that you are here. If you are new here, I hope you subscribe and continue to watch my videos. And if you are already a subscriber, hey boo, welcome back. This video is a letter to my 19-year-old pregnant self. Just a few things that I wish I would have known then or along the journey that would have helped me reach this level of success a little bit sooner or a lot of bit sooner. And I just want to remind some other young mothers or young pregnant women that these are things you need to know and you can be successful. It's just all up to you, okay? Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram and TikTok, and y'all, let's get into it. So if you're new here, let me tell you a little bit about me. I'm a mom of two. I had my first kid at 19. He is now 17, and my youngest kid is 6. I'm a single mom 100%, and I have learned so much. I'm now flourishing in my career. I make over 6 figures outside of social media. I have about 36,000 followers on Instagram. TikTok, I deleted it, child, but I had like 45K, I think, on TikTok. Anywho, so being pregnant at 19 was a journey, and now that I'm here as a 36-year-old woman, I've learned a lot. So let me tell you the first thing that I would tell my 19-year-old self is don't let nobody play in your face, okay? When somebody shows you who they are, do not make them your project. Do not try to see the good in them. Do not just accept it and allow yourself to get walked over. For me personally, I was super insecure. I lacked confidence. I was kind of shy, and I always had a desire for like a really good life, but I was always around the wrong people. And so I would allow these people to basically prey on me. Like, I was one of the few people who had a car, like a car note car at 19. I had a good job back then for my age. I was working in like banking, and like I got approved for a mortgage when I was in my 20s. And so there's all these different things that I was doing, and when I look back, I realized a lot of the people, specifically men that I was around, were basically feeding off of me and living off of me. Like, I would help people get jobs, like do the job application, fix their resume, do all of this stuff, all for a man who was probably dogging me out, cheating on me, treating me wrong. And I would always forgive them for whatever reason it was. I just felt like, oh, it's okay, like whatever their circumstances are. And I think because I did come from a good home and a good background, that played a lot into it. Like, I was like, well, it's not their fault that they're so jacked up. Like, their circumstances aren't that great. And so if I put them in a better circumstance, no boo, they're playing in your face. It doesn't matter what circumstances they come from. Kindness is not based on where you come from. It's just ingrained in who you are. And so you need to be able to read people, know people, and assess where they belong in your life. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to cut them off completely. It just means keep them where they belong, which most likely is at a distance or not in your life, including friends. There are some people who they may be kind to you, but they might not support you making decisions that you know are best for you. You can notice it by the energy that they give you when you're talking about things that you're super passionate about, or when you are successful. Like, how do they react? Are they more apt to be around you when you're failing and you're in alignment with what they're doing at their level of success? Or are they supporting you no matter what? Like, even if you're doing better than them? You really need to look at that, because those friends are also playing in your face. So that's definitely something I would pay attention to more, or would have paid more attention to more when I was younger. The next thing I'm going to talk about is success. You are only going to be as successful as you push yourself to be. You are a failure because you're accepting it as a failure and not as a lesson. If I look back over everything that I've gone through, whether it be, semi-abusive relationships, whether it be losing a job, whether it be gaining a shitload of weight, like all of these things that I hated at that time, I now use it as lessons. Do you know what I mean? So like I know how to navigate relationships better because of the horrible relationships that I was in back then. I know how to lose weight now because I gained so much weight. I got fired from a job, so now I'm super passionate about performing well, learning to pivot from my mistakes and not making them again, and just taking everything for what it is worth and moving forward with it. If you're just stuck and stagnant in your life, it's your fault. Like, especially where we are now, I know times are tough for a lot of people, and I get that there are certain circumstances that occur in your life and you're like, oh my God, that had nothing to do with me. Okay, have a moment, cry, break down, be upset about it, but pivot. You're always one pivot away from being super successful. And I can say that honestly because I have been broken, like even like in my 20s, broken, embarrassed, and not knowing what was going to come for me and literally taking a fucking risk. Do you know what I mean? So I think you have to sometimes sit down, plan it out, figure out how you're going to get to where you're trying to go, stick to the plan, stick it out. You have to have a stick-to-itiveness that is like insane, because other people will be like, oh my God, I can't believe this girl's still trying to do this. Like, oh my God, like I'm trying to do fashion content. I've been trying to post fashion content for 8 years. And I would stop for a little bit and post other things and grow my social media doing those other things and look back and be like, I still want to do fashion, so I'm posting it again. Is it performing as well as I'd like? No, but am I going to stick to it? Yep. Because I had a conversation with God, if you're religious. If not, sorry. But I had a conversation with God, and I was like, I'm going to do this for 365 days, not years. Lord. 365 days, okay? I'm going to give it that much time to pursue my fashion content as well as my YouTube channel, right? And that's it. Like, if it doesn't work out that way, me and God had this conversation, then okay, that means it's not for me. And there is sometimes a point where you have to be like, all right, this isn't for me, but what's next? And just like that, like you're gonna have, I think the problem is we are so emotion based that when failure or being stagnant happens, we get stuck there. Stop getting stuck. Stop looking at what you can't do. I would literally stop thinking about it and move the fuck on. Because what are you doing? The next thing that I would tell my 19-year-old pregnant self is stop worrying about what other people think about you. I literally would play things over in my head over and over and over again, of what people have said or what people thought, or did people think I was a bad mom, or am I excelling? How do I look? Do I look like what they would want me to look like? Am I treating this person the way they should be treated? If I treat them this way, then they'll treat me that way. You can only control yourself. And somebody else's opinion of you really has nothing to do with you, because everybody has their own perception of reality. And I know that stinks, because you're like, well, I know what my reality is. I know what it looks like. I know what it feels like. Yeah, but to somebody else, it can be completely different. So don't even worry about what they're saying, what they're thinking, especially if they are not where you want to be. Why do you care what someone thinks who has never even thought to pursue the greatness or level that you're trying to get to? Why do you care so much? Why are you wasting your time giving about these people when literally they're just trying to block you from getting to the level that you really deserve to be at? Stop worrying about these people and get on your shit. That's it. That's all you gotta do. And the very last thing that I would tell myself is sometimes you have to isolate to really think about and become great. Because when you're surrounded by people, when you're surrounded by things, and you're on social media, whatever, you are influenced. Like as an influencer, we're all influenced. Take some time to spend time by yourself and with God to really map out who it is that you are trying to become. And when you have that time in isolation, what you'll notice is sometimes, like when I take social media breaks and I go outside and I realize like everybody doesn't look like how they look on social media. Bodies are different, hair isn't always like laid, and all of these things. When you take the time to isolate, you'll notice more things about yourself. And I think when you learn more about yourself and you get to know yourself without all these people around you making noise about their lives, about what they think about your life, telling you what you need to do, using you, leeching off of you, whatever, you'll learn like what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are. And not only that, in your isolation time, you'll be able to get quiet enough to really listen to and learn about God's voice. And again, I'm sorry if you're not religious, but isolation, I think, is something that even non-religious people need to step into, because there's an amount of clarity and peacefulness that comes in that time that is, it's just something I can barely describe, but it'll sharpen. It's like sharpening your brain, sharpening your intuitiveness. And I think we all need to do that. And so these are things that I would tell myself, because I think I hated being alone at one point. Now I love it so much that I barely have any friends, y'all. It's ridiculous. I spend most of my time alone or with my kids. If I talk to people on the phone, that's fine, but I barely see them. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I've learned to love my isolation so much and create my own space and my own heaven in my home. And I am in love with it so much, because there were so many times that I would hear so many things from so many people that it would stop me and it would halt me and it would cause me to feel so insecure and dark. And I just want y'all to know, like, whether you're a mom, whether you're a teen mom, whether you're whatever it is, that you need to take some time to get to know you, because you are great. You are amazing. You deserve all of those dreams to come true. You deserve that gift that you haven't even unlocked that's inside of you. So just take some time to get to know yourself, boo. Okay? Anywho, I need to jet because I have a 1:30 meeting. I don't even know what time it is. But I hope you like this video. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and TikTok to see the content that I've been working on. And I will see you guys in my next video. Love you so much. Bye.